Hello all, and welcome to my first The Pineywood Sage video. I'm trying to work on the title here. I'm thinking, either the Sage of the Piney Woods, or a dash of sage, or something with a sage title. I'm working with. I think the Pineywood Sage kind of works right now. It may change throughout from here on out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's get some stuff out of the way first. Why am I making these videos? I have a dream. I have a dream. Yes, I have a dream. Everyone has a dream, right? Well, my dream is that after I get through with my time as a teacher here in classes, that I'll go forward to the great beyond, retirement, and use my experiences to help teach people how to teach. Let me phrase it, how to teach people how to teach. Sounds good, right? Well, after I taught about Socrates last week, I started thinking earlier, and I was like, why wait? Socrates didn't wait. Waiting for some big payday to cash out. There's no nobility in that, and Socrates would hand me the hemlock to drink on my own anyway. So, of course, if this is a success down the road, you better believe I'm going to cash in like it is cash money, bring it on. But we know the truth. But that's not the aim of why I'm here. What I'm going to do is to help you all out, especially those who are just starting out. Give you some experiences. I mean, am I going? If I'm just waiting here, am I waiting here to get more experience? I have 26 years experiences already. And while I'm a huge proponent of the fact that you can always learn, I think I have enough experience to share with you. And this is actually the second time I made this video. In editing the first video, I realized how negative my views on education actually sounded. I'm not a negative guy. A realist? Yeah. Negative? No. And as a realist, I do see the things that are wrong, and I'm going to talk about some of these things in here as we start off. But I also see what's good with life as well, and good in education. The tone of this first video, made it sound like I hated this calling, this job that we are blessed to have as part of our lives. And I am so lucky to work with these kids that I teach, and I hope you are too. I hope you see that. I work in one of the best school districts and the best schools in our state, and I wish everyone could work with the group of teachers and administrators I do every day. So seeing how negative I was the first time, I'm going to keep those parts, but I want to start off with talking about what's good and right with education. Secret answer? It's you. It's me. It's your friend across the hall who's pounding her head against the wall, trying to learn her teacher voice. Is that grizzled old veteran teacher who seems like she hates kids, but you saw her slip a kid some money so he could eat during a break because that might be the only time he really gets a chance to grab some food like that. It's you who somehow stumbled upon my video while looking for a way to become a better teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, after COVID, we know the value of an actual teacher in the room with actual students. We see the strong administrators who set the path, and we teachers who steer the metaphorical cruise ship of education are what is right with education. Then we can't forget those kids we have in our classrooms. I know that some of us are seeing the effect of how COVID hit our kids. They need us. Yes, social skills, research skills, reading skills have taken a huge hit, and they're not as high as they were pre-COVID, but come on. These kids are still bright, resilient, and even though they're a little dinged here and there, they still want to learn. We just have to figure out how to get them there. So it gives me the ability to stand or sit up here and offer you advice, give you ideas, and generally be the Pineywood Sage. I'm still not worried about that. I don't know about that name. I'll have to grow on me or something. Thank you for asking for my credentials. I have both a graduate and master's degree from Mississippi College. I've been teaching since 1997 and have experienced in a variety of educational settings. I've taught in a large private school, small, and we mean a 1A size small public high school. The graduating class was, when in my first year, there was, I think, like 26 or 29 kids. Tiny. I've taught in a middle school in a rural area. I've taught a large middle school and high school in a suburban area. So I have a variety of demographics I've approached before. I do realize that your school demographics may be out of my wheelhouse. I'm okay with that if you are okay with that as well. My hope and my goal for this excursion into the YouTubeverse is that at least one teacher will learn at least one thing that he or she can use in their class. If I can do that, then I'm successful. I know it's some pretty low goals. However, this allows me to rejoice with any successes beyond that. Next, I think you should know my overall long-reaching theory on education. All students can learn from their teachers. Some students choose not to learn the content, and some teachers choose not to teach the content. However, students are still learning, and teachers are still teaching regardless of their choices. I want to apologize to anyone who was offended by the pessimism in this theory. This is where I went back and had to change it because I realized it sounds pretty pessimistic. But it's not pessimistic. I'm looking at realistic. I used to think that all kids can learn. And I tried to break my back bringing this to fulfillment. But in the end, we have to realize that, especially in high school, some kids are not going to choose to learn. Some kids don't see the relevance of the material. And in the end, the reasons that they do this could be numerous. By no means do I mean that we don't need to keep stop trying. Keep trying. You keep plugging away. Because here's the thing: those kids need to see the effort more than anything else. They need to see your effort out there to teach them this, because that shows them that they have worth. Because you may not be teaching them content. Let me rephrase that. They may not be learning content, but they're learning how to be human. Guys and gals, these kids may not be learning how to find the hypotenuse or why the kids of the Industrial Revolution had such a hard time growing up. But they're learning whether or not you put in the effort. They're learning how to deal with people who disagree with them. They're learning about how to treat a person, even when they're being mistreated. And as for the second part of the theory, teachers who don't teach, first off, we all have stories. I mean, we all have stories somewhere in our past as us as either teachers or as students had that teacher or know that teacher who would give out the test while they've read from the book the whole time and sit up there and pop the newspaper up and read the newspaper as we all looked around, found the one person who knew everything about the content, let her or him take the test, and then copy it all off. And the teacher said in the newspaper, not caring, not giving a rip. Real true story, by the way. Senior physics. Yay. Okay. To those teachers, I don't think you realize how much damage you're doing to our profession. Those people are probably not going online to find my videos to help them improve, so I'll not spend any more time on them than absolutely necessary. However, I may go through and use the topic of how to deal with these teachers in another video down the road. Possible. It's down the road, way over there. So I'm going to move forward here and say, how do we fight this? How do you move past the apathy that strikes our beloved occupations? I mean, I love being a teacher. I hope you do too. We have to be realistic if we're going to fight this. Across the nation, the education community faces many different obstacles. Some brought on through district policies that in some areas that we see as teachers, that we see as pointless, that don't apply to our schools and what goes on in the classroom. Because here's the thing, education is not a one-size-fits-all type of situation. What brings success to an inner-city school in Detroit may not be what is needed to bring success to a rural school in Cuba, Alabama. Education needs to be tailored to meet the needs of the students and the communities that the school serves. Some of these obstacles we teachers face across the nation may come from expectations or decisions made by administrators that do not understand exactly what the teachers have going on in the classroom and community they're faced with. I've been lucky in that regard, since I've only had one administrator that was really kind of out of touch with the school. Wasn't a bad guy, just wasn't out of touch. So I count myself lucky in that regard. So while many obstacles are to our goal of educating kids may come from those sources I just mentioned, most of these obstacles and obstacles that I'm going to be focusing in on in most of the other lessons here are going to come from two sources. Number one, the baggage your students bring in every day and how to educate them regardless of that baggage. The second one. I may not have all the answers, but my hope is that as we go through these videos, you will find methods, ideas, tactics, etc., that will help you turn those obstacles into Sonic the Hedgehog style springboards that will help push you to the next level. For these videos, I'll be drawing from professional development opportunities I've been blessed to have, my own personal experiences, my own theories, my own personal methods of planning and creating as I step you through several parts of teaching, including the dark parts, the light parts, and the fun parts. I will be bringing in ideas that I've gleaned from other teachers. I will address the parts of education that require you to grind. And that's a big word here at my school, is grind. And it makes sense. Our administrators come up with this idea about how, just because you've got to be able to do the hard work. Go forward. Lean in. And in these videos, I'll be addressing pressing issues as well. How to deal with unexpected situations. Sometimes things happen outside of school that impact your classrooms. How do we deal with that? And we're going to introduce you to lesson plans, activities, and bring in real-world situations that will help you become the teacher you are bound to become. Now, I understand this is my first video with this. I do expect it to look differently throughout the years, or throughout the videos. Good Lord, I hope not doing this for too many years. Getting gray hair. I want to keep my hair. These kids drive me crazy sometimes. But here's the thing. It's the closest thing I want to make some things clear. First of all, I take the private life of my students and my fellow teachers seriously. I will never use a student, teacher, or administrator's real name unless they are interested in jumping in and participating in a discussion on the topic. Even if I get their permission to use their name, I'm not going to do it unless they will be involved. And I'm never going to put a student on camera. So how often can you expect these? I'm thinking about doing one a week during the school year. I will not be doing these during the breaks we have, since I'll be focusing on family during that time. And look, your life outside of the classroom is very important. And that leads us to the topic of the next video, balance. How can we as teachers find a balance between our work life and our private lives? So until next time, keep plugging along and remember to keep those kids as a focus. They are the reasons we have our jobs. Go inspire them.